Alright, I'm a little bit late to recording this, so I'm gonna do this now. Just from a reminder, this video is gonna be rushed, so I am just trying to get this out as soon as possible, so here we go. 1 year after the failure of Transformers 5, Paramount decided to cancel their cinematic universe plans and reboot the entire franchise into something familiar and something that we actually enjoy. And that movie was Bumblebee. It was a film that's being praised for how good it was and how it was way better than that crappy universe that came before it. When this movie was coming out, I didn't expect it to be this good. You know, it has a lot of heart and character development, and it has a very clear story on what it was about. Not some MacGuffin or seed or anything like that. It's just a simple story about two characters trying to be with each other. It also has a nice balance of being serious and comedic at the same time. It's not being overshadowed with all these jokes about sex and balls constantly, unlike Revenge of the Fallen. So yeah, I like this movie. I'm just gonna get straight into it. I'm done wasting time, so this shit is overdue. So the film opens up with a really epic battle on Cybertron. We see Optimus Prime fighting people, Shockwave, and Soundwave. It kind of reminds me of a certain game that I used to play a long time ago. Anyways, after losing that battle, Optimus Prime sends Bumblebee to Earth and to find a place to stay for them, but when that happens, he gets attacked by military men and sees Dreadwing, I think? I can't tell if that's Dreadwing. Anyways, he meets Dreadwing just to lose his voice. He meets Charlie, they hang out for a bit and meet up with two Decepticons that I can't remember the names of. They want to destroy Earth by using a beacon to get other Decepticons to go to Earth, so Bumblebee stops and the day is saved. And that sets up Transformers Rise of the Beasts. I don't know if that's the plot. If y'all want to get angry with me in the comments, go on. I don't care. I'll be honest with you, I like the plot. It's very straightforward and very easy to follow. It doesn't have like a stupid device or artifact that characters are trying to use to save the world. It's not confusing, or it doesn't have any plot holes. You know, it doesn't have this stupid backstory where Bumblebee was a part of World War II. The opening of this whole thing is really good. It gives us a real representation of what the war is really like. It's a massive massacre. There's lots of explosions. It kind of reminds me of the Activision games. I'm referencing Fall of Cybertron, am I? And we get to see the old gen characters from the old cartoons. Optimus Prime looks cool, Bumblebee has a teenage voice.
Sorry I'm late, hit a little traffic.
And it takes place in the 80s. For Paramount to make it just like the OG cartoon I never watched, it had to take place in the old decade that people liked. So Bumblebee has a 1980 something Volkswagen Beetle, which he had in the original cartoon. Paramount took the feedback from the other movies that the designs were very bad, and honestly I couldn't agree more. Wheeljack could have looked a lot better than he did in Transformers 3. So Paramount decided to change the designs into something a little bit familiar and faithful to what the cartoon was. So they made a lot of changes, and it was probably the best decision they've ever made in a long time, except for making Wheeljack Mexican in Rise of the Beasts. The tone of this movie is very lighthearted too. As I said, the tone of this movie is balanced very well and knows when to be serious when it needs to be. Honestly, you know what this tone reminds me of? The Guardians of the Galaxy movies. You know, it takes itself seriously sometimes, but it can be a little bit funny if it's well balanced enough. That's what Bumblebee did. The tone was very well balanced. It wasn't too serious or too corny to be like overshadowed by tons and tons of jokes. I'm looking at you, Thor and Ant-Man. Alright, where was I? Oh yeah, the action. The action is a lot better as well. It's not disorienting. It's very comprehensible and easy to follow and know what's happening. Unlike the Bayverse movies where there's a ton of explosions everywhere, like left and right. It's just noisy. And it's all because of the director Travis Knight, a replacement for Michael Bay. And that's a very good thing, because Paramount decided to let Michael Bay go because of his questionable directing skills, and other people had some complaints with him as well, and I'm pretty sure that Megan Fox had some very strong things to say about this guy. So she was fired from the third movie. It's probably for the better. Do you know what's good about this movie? It's the characters. Bumblebee and Charlie have really good chemistry in this movie and feel like best friends being there for each other. It's just fun to watch. What's best about Bumblebee is that he doesn't need his other voice to show expressions. Whenever he uses his voice box as a way to express himself, it just fits perfectly. The thing that I like about Charlie is that she's very relatable in the movie. Some people may find her annoying in the movie, but I don't think so. She's a lot better than Shia LaBeouf, aka Sam Witwicky. Her character is a lot better because it dives deep into losing her father from a heart attack and is having a hard time trying to get through it. But as she goes along with Bumblebee, she gets over it just a little bit. That probably makes that character development a lot stronger throughout the entire movie, and it's way better than what the Bayverse did with the humans and the Autobots. I'm kind of griping on this way too much. What can I say? I think this movie is way better than the other movies. This one has a lot more character development and chemistry between the characters, and it's handled a lot better and well thought out. The story is less confusing and has a very clear narrative of what it's trying to tell. I like the fact that it takes place in the 80s because, to me, it's a lot of cool stuff. Also, the 80s gives Bumblebee room to where he can be with the Autobots and have them be a little bit more colorful and have them be a little bit more vibrant throughout the entire story. The thing that I can say is that it's a lot more fun than it was, in my opinion. I know some people may not enjoy it as much as I did back then, but I don't give a crap. It was just a breath of fresh air that the franchise needed, and what fans needed as well. And thankfully, Paramount is taking a step in the right direction with this franchise, even though it's not making any money as it did back in the 2000s, but at least they're trying. So, yeah, that's the entire video. I rushed it.